Post from You Fell For It You Fool. What is a history fact that is so stupid it doesn't seem real? Comment from John Smith 2217. Benjamin Hornigold was a pirate in the late 16 and early 1700s who once robbed a merchant vessel purely for the crew's hats because he and his crew got so drunk the night before that they all threw their own hats overboard for no good reason. Comment from FenrirIII. In 1184, a number of nobles from across the Holy Roman Empire were meeting in a room at the Church of St. Peter, when their combined weight caused the floor to collapse into the latrine beneath the cellar and led to dozens of nobles drowning in liquid excrement. It is referred to as the Erfurt latrine disaster. Comment from ChinesesNeeze. Turkmen Bashi, the former dictator of Turkmenistan, made owning a dog illegal due to him thinking they smelled bad. Comment from SayNoToStim. There is at least one person, Tsutomu Yamaguchi, who survived both atomic bombs. I don't know if this is incredibly good luck or incredibly bad luck. According to some sources, he was in the middle of describing the Hiroshima bombing when the Nagasaki bomb went off only a few km away. Comment from Enfield 87. During the Spanish-American War, the Spanish governor of Guam wasn't told about the war. When a U.S. warship showed up he was happy to see them, 'cause he thought they were just visiting. Boy was he wrong. Comment from Alistair_the Alvarian. There was a real plan to spike Hitler's food with estrogen to try to turn him into a woman and make him give up on war. Hitler estrogen plan. Comment from sarcasmisart. Whilst on his deathbed, George Washington was drained of almost half his blood and given treatments that caused him to violently vomit and shit himself. He died anyway. Comment from Arcaeca. During World War I, Germany converted and armed a passenger cruise liner, the SMS Cap Trafalgar, into a cruiser, and sent to the Atlantic Ocean to disrupt British shipping. Off the coast of Brazil though, when they received word that a British ship was coming to flush out German ships disrupting British shipping, the SMS Cap Trafalgar decided to disguise itself as another ocean liner turned cruiser, the HMS Carmania, so that they wouldn't be shot at. The British ship that came to deal with the SMS Cap Trafalgar was the HMS Carmania, which promptly sunk the fake one. Comment from Ramtalok. Not one but two kings of France died by smashing their heads on the top part of a door lintel. Charles VIII in 1498, the shock probably caused something else but still. Louis III on the other hand was pursuing a fair lady, who was actually trying to escape him, on his horse on the 5th of August 882. When she passed a door, the horse went through, not the king, who broke his skull and died instantly. Comment from FarkanoThem8e. How the Berlin Wall fell. In order to calm mounting protests, GDR officials decided on loosening travel restrictions between East and West. Not open the border completely. Notes of the new rules had been handed to a spokesman who hadn't had time to read them before the press conference. Private travel outside the country can now be applied for without prerequisites, he said. Surprised journalists clamored for more details. Shuffling through his notes, he said that as far as he was aware, it was effective immediately. In fact, it had been planned to start the next day, with details on applying for a visa. But the news was all over television, and East Germans flocked to the border in huge numbers, as the border became inundated with East Berliners wishing to reunite with family and/or escape the GDR. Border guards became overwhelmed and with no orders to either shoot upon the crowd or open the gate. Only a handful of guards facing hundreds and thousands of citizens. Rather than fire and create a stampede and potentially kill hundreds, the head of the guards decided to give the order, open the barrier. What came next was a spontaneous chain reaction, with Berliners on both sides arriving at Checkpoint Charlie to celebrate this momentous event and to demolish the wall. So basically an ill-prepared functionary made a flippant remark and a border guard captain unable to get orders on how to proceed led to one of the most defining moments of the late 20th century in Europe. Comment from fbkjj. It is said that Greek tragedian Aeschylus died because an eagle dropped a tortoise on his bald head, mistaken for a rock, in order to break the shell of the tortoise. Comment from Mr-Pringlz-and-Carl. A quote from Winston Churchill when he was visiting the White House and the president walked in on him buck naked. The Prime Minister of the UK has nothing to hide from the President of the US. Quote. Comment from Archayvic. In WW2, the Russians trained dogs to run under tanks with time bombs on their backs. Anti-tank dogs. But The Russians trained the dogs on Russian tanks, so when they set them free on the battlefield they turned around and started blowing up the Russian tanks instead of the opposition's tanks. Comment from Fact Crab. Jack Daniels, yeah. That Jack Daniels died from an infected stub toe caused by him kicking a safe containing money to which he had forgotten the combination. Comment from DankNastyAssMaster. Fidel Castro loved milk so much that when his cow, who holds the world record for most milk produced in a day, died, he had her taxidermied, had a marble statue of her built and a full eulogy and obituary written for her in his state newspaper. And Cuban scientists have repeatedly tried, and failed, to clone her. Her name was Ubre Blanca, which means white udder. https://n.m. Wikipedia.org wiki Ubre_Blanca. Comment from Realistic Delusion 77. As WW2 revved up, the US realized that fast and cheap was the way to go with manufacturing ships, ex-Liberty ships. But there was a line of escort carriers made with so little armor that some Japanese armor-piercing shells went through the hull and out the other side without exploding. A nice surprise. https://warfarehistorynetwork.com, the 14th of January 2019, Survival off Samar. Comment from Ozymandias 97. The US and the UK scrapped plots to assassinate Hitler as they believed his poor judgment would bring an end to the war quicker. https://n. Wikipedia.org wiki Operation_Foxley. Comment from D0RK0. More people have died from drowning in molasses than being attacked by coyotes. Comment from Spiraxian. A Skylab satellite's guidance system was failing and ended up crash landing in Australia. Instead of giving the satellite back, Skylab was charged with a $500 littering fine. After the fine was paid, the company wanted to put the satellite in a museum but was refused on the basis that since the satellite fell from space, it's legally Australia's now. So now, Skylab pays a monthly rent to Australia to display its own satellite in a museum. Asterisk edited for accuracy asterisk. Comment from Ziggy_Starlord 144. Tycho Brahe, an astronomer, had a pet moose. That moose later died from a fall down the stairs because it was drunk. Comment from They Call Me Momo. Honduras and El Salvador had a 3-day war over a football game. Comment from Lady Light Travel. Michigan and Ohio having a war over Toledo. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe.